What up, what up, what up? Yep, we getting ready to right now, brother. Yeah, we're gonna play this film by the noble C.Freeman L. But I hope everybody having an amazing, amazing morning this morning. Oh, give me 1 second. My back, hold on. My back. I just had to get a couple things situated. I had a easy day today. So I said I'm gonna play a film, a noble C.Freeman L. And if time permits, I might play two films. But let me get my camera, adjusted. First, I want to say peace to every single one of your brothers and sisters out here in the world. Gratitude for taking time out your day. I got a busy week. I'll be traveling back to Flint, Michigan. I got a big lecture series I'll be doing in Flint. And I'm glad the churches are opening their doors to allow me to come speak to their people, because most of our brothers and sisters are in the church. And so we are in the age of information. And I just give gratitude for people and ministers that's melanated like myself to really want to hear the word, from a Moorish perspective. Because I'm not here to diss anything. I'm here to synchronize the teachings as a God man in the flesh and as an educator, as a map and a guide. And we are a people and we have culture, and we don't have to strip our culture down for no one to assimilate or to fit in with anyone. That's what the religious rights of the indigenous people talks about. We don't have to strip ourselves down to fit in with anyone or anybody's perspective. And so that's what I teach here at the BBT. And I'm going to play this film, and then we'll have a little bit more conversation. I even spoke with, let me see, let me find something before I give this message, because I want everyone to see something, or I want everybody to hear something, a statement that a European lady inboxed me. Hold on, let me go to my email real fast, and then I'll play the film, because I love all my brothers and sisters. The Creator created everyone. So let me get to it. Let me see, can I find it? Because I was like, wow, it was just some encouraging words from a person that's not melanated, but understand the teachings and understand how we lost and how we've been miseducated through education and through spirituality by our own people. Let me see. I may let the film play, and then I will maybe I'll find it once the film being played. And so when C. Freeman L. used the word black, he's just using it as a speaking point. So I want people to understand that, and understand when a brother is teaching, to listen to the teachings, and don't be so quick just to open your mouth as a lot of people do. A lot of our brothers and sisters just be so quick to be argumentative, and that's not how we do things. We should do things in a manifestation of scholars learning information. That's what this is all about. Oh, okay, I know where it was. Let me find it. 1 second. Then we'll get into the teaching. Give me 1 second. I just want to share this email I got from a sister. Here we go. And I might play this film next. I think I am. Let's see. Where is she at? Ah, man, I might have deleted her email. Man, man. And that's why when I'm lecturing and I tell people, don't interrupt me, you know what I mean? I may lose my thought when I tell everybody to write your question down. But a lot of us never been to lectures and never heard an educator or a scholar or a master teacher teach. So I'm gonna play one film. One second. One second. I want to play this first part of the film, and then I'm gonna play the other one. And it's gonna be the second one is gonna be free more equals free more. FREIMAUER equals free more equals free Mason. And I'm gonna break that down a little bit for you can get a understanding. But this is the power that we have from our ancestors and from how I teach. And I don't teach from no biased perspective. I teach from science. I can't be teaching from no biased perspective or no racist perspective if most of the people that I teach and come to my lectures are Europeans, are low-level Masons, are European Jews, are professors in colleges. I can't be a racist or a prejudiced person. You know how your own people just throw accusations because they never was able to deal with the truth of situations. That's why I never get disrespect. I never get disrespect. And I'm out here in Arizona. I don't get disrespect from Europeans. Disrespect only come from misnomer black people and so-called people that's Democrats and don't know law and policy and don't understand that black have no rights in a court of law and understand that according to science and law, black is silver mortis. So it's never going to be a black agenda when you're dealing with politics. If you don't understand that, then we have a lot to learn as a group of people because we are not minority. Minority means you don't know how to think. You got to have somebody to think for you. And so I want our brothers and sisters to have an open mind because we are in the age of Aquarius and we're here to learn. And if you're not here to learn, it's my duty to block you because it's some people here to learn from these teachings because the old becomes the new. So I'm going to play this film and like I said, people can ask questions, but when I go and as I travel, a lot of my followers, a lot of professors that was in the time of C.Freeman L and Bobby Hemmett and Dr. Ben and Ivan Van Sertima and Sheikh Anta Diop and Amos Wilson and Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, they like, brother, I don't think our people know who you are. I don't think our people have a clear idea of what you teaching and what you promulgating. This is scholarship. And we don't know who we are. And that's what a European lady hit me up. She said she was 72. And she said, I love listening to your teaching, Sheik Goodman Bay. She was like, I'm sorry, your misnomer black brothers and sisters, they just don't know who they are. Historically, spirituality, educational wise, they don't. And how can anybody get anything biased or racist or anything from the words you speak? The truth is just the truth. And the truth will make you free. And so when you watch any old videos, any elders, you got to have a vision of myself in the flesh. I'm not nobody reincarnated. I'm in the flesh. The creator is always going to create a God man in the flesh to deliver a divine message and a warning. Just like in academics and athletics, it's always going to be a LeBron James or a Michael Jordan or Allen Iverson or a Shaquille O'Neal in every dispensation. And we got to look beyond athletics. We have to look beyond entertainment. And we have to start dealing with scholarship. And we have to support those that know the way, that's able to give the information. Why? Because we have the funds to do it. If we willingly giving our money to Uncle Sam and misnomer black people say they Jews and all this, well, all the European Jews that I know, they support what? Their religious organization that's feeding them. And here it is, we have the internet to bring people together. So we should keep the likes up. Share this with your family and friends. So I'm about to play this video.
I use the title to kind of entice your curiosity. It's an old Masonic proverb, I guess you could say, or maxim.
I don't know why it's making that noise.
Before I do that, this idea came to me this afternoon around 1 or 2 o'clock. I want everyone to take out your money, your watches, your rings, your gold and your silver, put them on the floor and stomp on them, jump on them. Nobody's going to do that. The sound reasoning of why we keep making an effort to define ourselves. We're trying to get something back we lost. And it's best illustrated in the things that the Western man holds dear to his...
Let me go to the other one, because that one making a little bit of noise that I don't like. Let me go to the other one. I got all these saved, but that was a part 1. I'll do part 2. And I'll clear up the audio on that one at a later date. I'll do it later. So let me blow it up. All right, let's get to it.
Good evening. We are beginning the 12-week course on Moorish science. We started last Sunday with an introduction to Moorish science 101. In the first...
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that, family. Let me leave this alone. Let me know if you can hear.
Good evening. We are beginning the 12-week course on Moorish science. We started last Sunday with an introduction to Moorish science 101. And the first of this series is referred here under the entitlement, The Black Man is Buried in a Shallow Grave in the East, an old Masonic lore that comes out of biblical story form, as well as converted by the Masonic order to lend itself to the mystery.
Oops. Well, I don't know why you're doing that. My fault, y'all.
Of Hiram Abid, who is a major player in Masonic knowledge. But in reality, and I don't have that, I got every chart I could think of here except the one that shows the pyramid, not the pyramid, the Sphinx, covered in sand in the desert. That Volney drew a picture of. I'll bring it next Sunday. The phenomenon there is that it's not only an excellent drawing in profile, but it lends itself to the acrocentric features of the Sphinx. That most pictures of the Sphinx do not lend itself to that descriptive. We're almost second guessing that this is the image of a black man. But the fact of the matter, the Sphinx at one point was buried up to his neck from the sandstorms of the desert. And there's a tale that Harmachis appeared to one of the pharaohs, or Pira, as it's stated in Kemetic, and told him that he would uncover the Sphinx, he would make him wealthy. So that's legendary. But legend or not, they did dig the Sphinx out. The first important fact here is that buried does not mean dead. It means hidden. It means preserved. It means secret. It means, in fact, everything but dead. It also means something that is valuable has been covered over. Something that is secret has been covered over. But in the spiritual knowledge of self, it is apropos and direct concerning the esoterics of the three missing keys of our culture, which are identity, self-knowledge, and self-revelation. Those I'll be harping on throughout the 12 weeks, because those are keys, those are the nucleus of the whole of this body of knowledge. In all of the history books and literatures that our contemporaries and ancestors of this particular cycle, anyway, have produced, none of them connect these three factors as a part of making the whole of this vast amount of knowledge relevant. See, there's a wonderful reconstruction of African, so-called African history provided. The problem is our children are not digesting it in mass. The problem is there because they can't see how it's relevant. See? And secondly, the concept is misdirected in terms of breaking down the concept. I'm sure you all have crossed that concept. History means, and it directly and deliberately meant his story. That's not a literary grammatical phenomenon. That's a code construct. So what we're looking for are the records of the past, you see, which allows the black researcher to correct the Europeans' mistakes, misnomers, omissions, and his deliberately intent to lie and camouflage the facts. There are 4 points of direction in nature. The first point of direction is the top of your head, that's the north. The bottom of your feet, that's the south. The front of your body, that's the east. The back of the body, that's the west. You are buried right behind your sternum bone, inside the real you. The front of the body is the east, and inside is the east. When you hear about the Mason traveling east, he's not going to Africa or Israel, he's going within himself. That's what he should be talking about. Of course, it is both exo and esoteric, outer truth and inner truth. So he could be referring to either one. Identity is the key to human psychology and human correct behavior in terms of knowing oneself with a sense of accurate knowledge. There's a verse in the scriptures, and I haven't refound. Yes, I did find it again. I don't have it at the tip of my mind at this point. Having the form of godliness, but not according to accurate knowledge. I'll have to look that up again. Is illuminative of this concept of identity. And we've had a host of concepts hoisted up for us to use. None of them did we hoist up. Somebody called us something or other. See, and the one that has had the most valid prestige and dignity has been this concept here. And I won't throw a monkey wrench in the lecture by asking anyone, what does it mean? If I sent you to the dictionary, I would be still misguiding you because it's not in the dictionary. There's a map there, as you all have seen. Something like that. That's not a very good one. And right up under it is the word Africa. That's as far as they go with it. In other words, it's not defined. And the other factor is all of the maps that we have are European cartographics. The map makers of this period were Europeans. They gave Greco-Latin English names to the map. See? Let me deal with this since I have it here so it doesn't remain a phenomena.
Let me pause it. So that scripture that he was talking about, y'all, that he said he couldn't remember. Remember that scripture that Brother C.Freeman, when he said the form of godliness, but not accurate, but not from accurate knowledge. That's in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 5. Because I've done all the research. I've lectured in colleges, and I have one of my master's degrees is in first century history and biblical studies. So in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 5, it says in the King James Version, other version it said in layman terms, but it's saying the same thing. And it says, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof, from such turn away. And that's the same thing when he paraphrased, he said form of godliness, but not from accurate knowledge. Yes, we have a form of godliness, but not from accurate knowledge. And that's 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 5. Write that down. Let's proceed.
This is the Kemetic concept of Africa, Afura. This is a insect referred to as osti, the many-legged things, or the first thing. These are 3 drops of semen. This is the sun. Excuse me. Is the meaning of Afura, flush of God. You can find this in I think his first name is Alfred. Budge's book, Egypt or the Mummy. Wallace Budge, who spent most of his life researching and searching the hieroglyphic papyri and translating it, and was one of the few of that group that was fair-minded enough to accredit the African as being the Egyptian. In that same grouping of books, which I have not as of yet found the hieroglyphic again, well, here it is. And I prayed for this this particular glyph, and I literally mean I prayed for it too. Spirit led me right to it. That's a hieroglyphic for more. Now here's the other phenomena, and I'm going to illuminate this at some point. I hadn't been so lazy this week, I went over to Kinko's and blew up if I'm not mistaken, it's on the back of the dollar bill in the upper right-hand corner. When it's illuminated about 500 times, you'll find a white owl, okay, standing in the upper right-hand corner on the $1 bill. It's very telling of this particular glyph. These are some of the concepts throughout the varied languages of the concept of more as it was spelled in various languages. This is as far as our historians went with this concept of more. Maurus, Latin. Mar. Elizabeth Cooper Baker, in her book, Medieval Freemasonry, she gives a reading of Fry Mar. In her rendering of Masonic history. Then she interprets this That's how she interpreted it. And she knew better. She knew that this is more. But this is the way she interpreted it in her book. But at least she interpreted. The rest of them didn't even lend that much to the obscurity of that definitive. The owl, which is, of course, a symbol of wisdom in every culture. It's one of the few universal symbols throughout the planet. This is inomo, the mouth, magic word, a word of power. This is electricity or water waves, which gives energy. Okay? And of course, the meaning of the concept I'm instructed to do this by my cameraman, so we'll have a clear board here. That's the meaning of more. And this is the feminine of more. Morris. This can be verified in code in the scriptures. If I'm not mistaken, I think it is Genesis chapter 42, verse 30 and 33. since I'm doing this, I may as well get on with the evidence gathered. Don't write that down yet. Let me verify. Yes, chapter 42, verse 30 and 33. And it's a part of this coding that we'll talk about in a minute. This is concerning the sons of Jacob and their brother who was sold into slavery. You all remember that story? The good Reverend telling you about Joseph being sold into slavery? I won't reiterate the whole story. If you want, you can read it yourself. Verse 30, the man who is the Lord of the land spake roughly to us and took us for spies of the country. He's talking to his father Jacob in that verse. Then jump down to verse 33. And the man, the Lord of the country, said unto us, hereby shall I know that ye are true men. Okay. The key there, the Masonic key there, okay, the Masonic key there is Lord of the land, Lord of the earth, Lord of the country. The same key exists in such a everyday concept that you would not, without the connection, gain its meaning when you say, I'm going to pay my landlord. You're saying the same thing. And don't be stricken by the use of the word Lord. There's Lord Calvert, Lord John, Lord Bourbon, Lord Scott. The European has overused the word Lord. He did not found that concept. It was brought to him by your ancestors. One of the still existing artifice of your ancestors' imprint on England, as well as France and their law, is the wigs that they wear. If you get a real good look at them, they're wearing kinky-haired wigs. Unto this day, they wear the same wigs that of those who had what I call furled hair. I don't use the word kinky. When they were lords of the earth of Europe. That's what the golden age of the Moors explains in such a phenomenal way that you'll have to read it twice to believe it. That your parents dominated Europe for over 1,000 years to such an extent that it drew all of Europe together to rid Europe of the African. That was the Holy Crusade. There's also another point in the Bible where you will find Lord of the earth. We'll get to that when we get to the book of Revelation. I won't get into that right now. In 1922, a black man by the name of Timothy Drew came about through some mysterious and sundry way out of the South and founded a movement, a spiritual effort that became a religion called the Holy Moorish Science Temple. I don't have the booklet. I don't know why I don't bring that booklet. I don't have the booklet with me. I'll bring it next time. Of course, it's taken me 12 years to get a Macintosh Apple to class. I haven't brought that yet either. But I hope to do better with the Moorish Science Temple booklet. On the cover of that book, he placed a 4-part circle, and a 7. And across the top he has written, the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple. This is the key to the secondary of the science. The first key is that it was a science presentation, not a religion. But remember I said in the 20s, and if you know anything about American Negro history, in the 20s, there was about a tenth of your perennial population that could read. And most of them were alliterate, which means they could read but wouldn't. And in the 20s, it was about food, a place to stay, clothes on your back. It wasn't about academia. It wasn't about uncovering an academic cultural truth. It was about survival. So Drew Ali gave them what they were able to ingest, digest. I'll get back to that. The significance of that pamphlet deals with what is, I saw that coming and should have stopped in and stuck this back up there. I got duct tape on. Yeah. Is that straight?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Huh? Somebody say something? Okay. In the whole of this body of hidden knowledge, under the auspices of this concept, Codex Inscriptus, the code written in scriptus, to write or inscribe. The code, knowledge hidden, knowledge presented in another form or fashion. This is the system of the whole of esoteric knowledge in the Western Hemisphere. Hold on just a second here. This is getting to be a non-complimentary. That should hold it. Yeah. Is the camera still on? Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, I was going to reach for the Bible as I turned around. This book is written with this approach. How can we prove that in a few words or with one effort? By this concept here. This is the Latin derivative of this word, pisti menti. Pisti. Menti. Old Testament, New Testament. Old body, old mind. New body, new mind.
Let me
That's
pause
what
it
this
real
book is
fast.
about.
I want to show y'all. Let me turn this camera around real fast because I like to demonstrate as we watching the teachings. So, on that chart he's showing, this is the same, this is the chart right here. And he's talking about the Latin. Just like in law, when I talk about according to science and law, black is death, silver mortis, testament, testa body, menti mind, the old becomes the new. You see? You see here? Testament, testa body, menti, M-E-N-T-I, mind, the old becomes the new. The old becomes the new. It's science. And if my European colleagues deal with me, why not my brothers and sisters? And these elders are dead and gone. And a lot of them died poor because our people didn't support. And here, me in the flesh, as an educator in academia, I'm trying to bring something back to my brothers and sisters that we can support with donations as we continue to build. I have a full library. So all I'm doing is resurrecting the teachings from love. So let's get back to it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop it in about 4 more minutes because I got to make some runs. But I'm going to play another film of C.Freeman L. just about maybe 30 minutes because I only got an hour and a half to play film. And then we out of here. But I'm challenging you to research and do some studies and support what we're doing. Email me, call me, come to class.
And
What
that's
do you say?
just one.
I'm sorry. My Temple and School YouTube page is Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. And inbox me, man, for we can be brothers and sisters, for we can have conversation. So we can synchronize the teaching, so we can operate on understanding, not on hate.
Effort of revelation concerning this remarkable book called Holios Biblos, the book of fire, the book of light. Holios, fire, light. The code word book means body. The book of Revelation is the body revealed, the body of revelation in this language. We're in the 26th letter alphabet of the Western Hemisphere. Okay, we're not into the characterization of the East in language. The youngest language on the planet is the American English language, the last language, which has become the primary.
So when he said Holios Biblios, nobles, remember it was Greek, and the Bible was written in Koine Greek. So in Greek mythology, Helios is the god of the sun, and Biblios is a Greek word that means book. Helios, the Greek god of the sun, who drove a chariot across the sky every day. And Biblio is a Greek word that comes from Biblion, which means book. I want us to have a clear understanding.
Language on the planet. 26 letters. Okay? I'm moving a little slow here because I want to make some foundational groundwork so that you get a good conceptualization. An allegory is a writing of a story form with a hidden message. An allegory is a writing of a story form with a hidden message.
And I got to keep stopping it. Allegory, parable, and symbology. That's how the Bible is constructed. The Bible is constructed in allegory, parable, and symbology. So if you don't understand, and if you're not real educated in allegory, parable, and symbology, you're going to be off.
A fable is a truth that can either be false or true. A fable is a story that can be either false or true. Most often, the fable is true, written in such a way that it appears to be unbelievable or false. The myth or mythos, esoteric writing of a truth, hidden writing of a truth, is a myth, presented as a story. The Greek gods, for instance, is a myth, but the truth of the matter, those are kinetic beings borrowed by the Greeks to represent.
You got to research the book Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James. All Greek history is nothing but stolen Egyptian science. These are just facts. So I hope we listening to the concept of what Baba and what Elder C.Freeman L is saying. And then as I resurrect these teachings, these are old teachings, and they can be backed up from scholarship, from history. Our people are the ones need to catch it, because the European know exactly what I'm talking about. Why? Because the European Mason understand that they are son of a Muslim. They're not no widow son. And the only person to tell you that is a misnomer Negro that's buried in a shallow grave. In the Bible, that's the analogy of Haram Abith. And if any Negro Mason get on my page lying, I'm going to break it all the way down even more. That's why you have Negro Mason preachers in the church. The first house is Christianity that they don't understand, and then the higher house is Al-Islam. And they know this. That's why it's a secret, because they playing a game. That's why I say the European is not the joke of Masonry. I don't care what no misnomer black person says. The European is not no joke of Masonry, because the European will tell you that he or she is a son of a Muslim. It's the Negro that play these Masonic games with you and these riddles. And they call themselves some widow son. I'm not no widow son. Let's proceed.
Their divinity is an example of a myth, a legend, something that occurred so long ago, the facts for it being or having happened either no longer exist or have small evidence of its existence. Something that occurred so long ago that the evidence that it actually happened is no longer available or partially available in evidence.
All right. So I'm at the 30-minute mark, because I said I was going to go to the 30-minute mark. I'm going to go to the next film, because I just wanted to show some introductions. This is C.Freeman L, and it's 2 lectures. It's the misnomer black man is buried in a shallow grave in the East. But I want to share this other quick snippet of this film before I head out of here. Where is that? Okay, here we go. And I got a plethora of them that I want to share with y'all, but I just want to share a little something with y'all. And before the film starts, I want to read something to you that was sent to me. And it blew my mind, because the same lady was on the page and she responded to my teachings. And this is an older European lady. Listen what she said. She said, I am a white woman and I beg, she say black people, but we know, don't get caught up in the word. I say the misnomer black people, to allow this crucial message to truly sink in. This man is speaking the absolute truth. And you yourself, She Goodman Bay in the flesh today, is teaching the absolute truth. She said, my son go to GCU, and he was speaking about this man that wear fez on campus and lecture in the libraries, in the doctoral libraries, and in the cathedral. She said, when I asked my son your name, and he said Bayer L, and her son was like, but he speak as an elder. And then she started pulling out her husband's, which is the young man's father, all his Masonic stuff that she got when he died. Listen what she said. She said, this is a European lady. She said, as a society, we all have been robbed of our true history. No one knows who they are, especially the black people. This must change, and this change must start taking place now through you. She was like, through you, She Goodman Bay. You have the power to change the future. The U.S. public school system is designed the way it's purposely, and its objective is to produce order following slaves who act as instructed while asking no questions. A child's imagination peaks at age 5. This is why American children are made by law to begin their indoctrination, not education, at age 5. Now, this is a European woman sending me an email, and I'll be laughing at all my so-called Moorish brothers and all my misnomer black people and all my Masonic brothers and these Islam Muslim brothers. I say, y'all lost if a European woman understand what I'm saying. That tell you how far gone the misnomer black man is. Our government wants total control of our children, regardless of the color of their skin. And year after year, the time children spend at school is extended. First, it was for school-related extracurricular activities. Next, it was for detention. And today, the government insists that a large percentage of children aren't getting adequate nutrition at home. So schools have added breakfast to their service. Feed your children at home. This is what she's saying. This is what I say. This is the job of parents and not of the government. Thank you. When the government controls your food, they control what you consume and how often you consume it. This gives the government a little more control over your children. Don't allow it. Homeschooling your children is possible. Get together with other parents in your neighborhood and work out a schedule in which a parent teaches homeschool children one day a month, and that one day can be taken as a sick day or a vacation day from work. But she said, you the one, She said, you went to college, you went to academia, you anointed and consecrated. She's like, I'm a white woman and I follow what you're saying. Work together. Teach children truth instead of allowing them to become indoctrinated. Order following adults who are obedient to government and other men. Teach them to be only obedient to the truth and themselves. This is how we begin to change the future of humanity as a society comprised of many different races and classes. We suffer from amnesia. We are knowingly taught falsehood. We unknowingly accept the falsehoods as facts. We as adults have to take advantage and take back control of our children, as they are our responsibility and our future. Remember what Whitney saying, I believe the children are the future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. She said amen to that. She said amen and gratitude to you, I know the work that you're doing. Sometimes you suffer. But she said it starts with you. And she said, God bless you. And God bless you as a God-fearing man to continue to teach and go through the halls of academia to prove your plight. And it's a European woman. And she supports me. She gives donations. She done bought all my books. Sharing with other people. This is a professor, a retired professor, a lady that's called herself a Jew, a European Jew that understand what I'm saying. She said, well, you Melchizedek. So I'm going to play this a little bit and I got to get out of here. I'm going to play 30 minutes and I'm gone.
I wanted to write. And I ended up writing this. Is that clear? Can you read that? Yeah. I mean, back up there. What's called Freimauer, a German word. Elizabeth Cooper Baker, the author of a book titled Medieval Freemasonry, is the one who underlines this surname in German in her book in footnotes. First of all, it's important to know she either was or is, I don't know if she's still on the scene or not, a Mason, Eastern Star, or some other female order in the European sector of this knowledge. There's only been one woman that's been allowed to join a male Masonic fraternity, and that's been this woman here, Annie Besant. They call her Brother Besant. Her knowledge exceeded that of their Grand Master, so they were obligated to incorporate her into the Masonic order. That European Masonry, there is a Afrocentric Negro Masonry that had no books. They've done almost no writing. I think there's 2 books by black Masons that I'm aware of. Let me parenthesize that. One is titled Great Black Masons of History, and the other one is a rendering of commentary on King Solomon's temple that offered no in-depth knowledge of any kind, just reiterated what's in the Bible. The problem of reading Masonic literature is that even if they're exposing some knowledge, they still keep the secret. They write in initials. They write in code. They make reference to symbols, places, and dates that only those who are inside the organization can delineate those sworn to secrecy parts or bodies of knowledge. That's their procedure, and they ain't stopped yet. C.M. Bay got out of the Masonic order, Johnson Bay said, and started teaching the American Negro who he was from a Moorish Masonic point of view. He did 2 pamphlets called The Clock of Destiny, volumes 1 and 2. Most of that information I have already delineated over the past 8 months here. And the information I did not is in relationship to astrology, which is something I'll deal with next year. Noble Drew Ali, it is allegedly stated that he was also a Mason, got out of the Masonic order, and formed the Moorish Science Temple of America. He wrote 1 pamphlet, The Koran Circle 7, Koran. It's on the open market. I don't know who has any copies of it, but most of it was an extract from another book titled The Aquarian Gospel of Jesus the Christ by Levi Dowling. And he added some legendary information about the Moors as Moabites in the Bible, and tried to trace an origin from that biblical perspective. He made allusions to Egypt, but he didn't really clarify. What she said about this word or name is that it means Freemason, and it does not. And she knows that the Masons that would read it would know that it does not mean Freemason. It means free Moor. This is the Greco-Latin German word for Moor, Maur. You can find it in any Latin book. It's not in the dictionary, but the word Moor is, and the term blackamoor is also in the dictionary with a descriptive. That is your ethnocentric name, differing from your geographical identification as Americans. Certainly different from that of Negro, and different certainly from that of African or African. The spiritual connection is what's secondarily important about knowing this name. First of all, looking at it from a examinatorial point of view, why is it your ethnocentric name is being used by Europeans in and behind the Masonic door or lodge as an identity point? Is the question the curious should ask themselves. Secondly, where is all of the history of the people that represent these Moors in Europe? And why isn't it taught in colleges, in high schools, or any other part of this quote educational system? The answer is it is hidden. The second answer is what it means. Lord of the earth. That's also the landlord, where that particular concept comes from. It is also registered in the scriptures in Genesis chapter 39, verses 30 and verse 33. And a discussion between Jacob and his sons that returned back from Egypt, or Cain, after having talked with Joseph, and being inquired of them by Joseph of their younger brother, whom they sold into slavery. It's all there, all very Masonic, all very Kabbalistic, and clothed so that it fits right into the regular story of the 12 sons of Jacob, and this remarkable personage of Joseph, who has all of the symbolic prestige of greatness. He's the one who had a dream of seeing 11 stars, the sun and the moon bowing to him. He's the one who went from that of a slave or prisoner to that of being freed, and then made and given the position of governor of Egypt, a Jew, whom the Egyptians in history previously were noted as finding the Hebrew or the Jew unworthy to eat with. So the story is there. With the keys, you can gain a great deal of knowledge from those biblical stories. Pointing this out gives us a precedence at looking at the knowledge of Scripture and the hidden knowledge of other schools that have borrowed this inheritance. I can't think of the sister's name, an empress.
Empress Gospel?
Yes, who has a book out she's bringing with her next month titled Return of the Ancient Ones. It's a handsome little price on it, but she's got it documented. So she's not talking legend, hearsay. She's got some, not only documentation, but the land to prove it. She has been legally given back, 16 or 6,000 acres of land in New Orleans. I'm talking about a black woman living today, not dead, in New Orleans right now as we sit here. She'll be here this month. And is aware of the fact that we are Moors. And has recorded that information in her book. And that's what's important for us to be able to break loose this illusion of being nothing or nobody. Because that's about what our children think of both themselves and each other. Otherwise it would be so important to kill each other. One of the major factors of this science in relationship to black women is to get a clear perspective about the order of things. As the Bible makes reference to God creating a man first and then taking a rib and making a woman out of the rib, as very much through these Kabbalistic writers, not God, Kabbalistic writers, of distorting the view of woman in relationship to man. That somehow the first woman was born from a man, and from there on, all men would be born from a woman. Does not sound like nature at work. So we're able to make that insertion there and come clear in understanding the symbology of the rib and understands.
I want to stop right there, family, because I got to get ready to get out of here. What I'm doing, I'm just giving an introduction to these ancient films and getting you prepared for what's going to come. Because every Thursday, starting off, I think next week, on our Temple and School YouTube page at Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, every Thursday we're going to have film session. So Thursday we'll have film session. Friday, which is today is our holy day. And on our Temple and School YouTube page at Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. Also on Facebook at Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. Fridays, we have our book reading and our book club where my muftis, my divine ministers, they go over historical books and they break them down. And then they offer them to brothers and sisters. Our company, mypdfbooks.com, that's books with a Z, we have converted a plethora of ancient books and documents to PDF that you can download on your tablet or on your cell phone. And our other company is bindedbooks.com, where we print and bind expensive and rare books. And on Sunday, we have Sunday school. And you're more than welcome to join and be my guest. Like I said, inbox me at Goodman, GOODMANKHARY at gmail.com. My office number is 602-473-8767. But every Thursday, starting next week, I'm going to be playing these films. I have a plethora of films, over, thousands and thousands of films. And when I was doing my academic endeavors, the students used to ask me to play these films in a doctoral library. And most of the people that I was reaching were Europeans, were European Jews and European Masons. And a lot of those professors knew this science. When I started talking about Annie Besant, when I started talking about Pascal Beverly Randolph, and then when I started showing that the European Mason, which is a Scottish Rite, they know this. And when I showed the film of the European Scottish Rite Mason giving credit to Noble Drew Ali on his 135th birthday, people like, well, who's lying to us? And I say, your own people. And so at the BBT, these are a lot of books that I provide. I provide them PDF and we print them and bind them. You want these books. You want this history to build up your library. When you go on Amazon and see how much these books cost, I challenge everybody to go on Amazon and see how much these books cost. Why would you want to go on Amazon and pay all that much for some paper and you can get these books PDF for me, or we'll print them and bind them for a fraction of the price? Hold on, let me get the door. Yeah. Yep, I got you. It's no reason. It's no reason. When you go on Amazon, you look how much these books cost. And so here it is. I just shared a message of one of the what I do with my other phone. A lady that hit me up. And this is a European lady. I got to keep sharing it. I got to keep sharing this message because this was a European lady. And I'm like, what is wrong with us, especially Moors that jump on my page and be coming with that disrespect, or won't even take the time to listen to what I'm saying and then put their foot in their mouth. Like when I was live yesterday and I'm talking about politics, and the first thing that the Negro say is, you got to get off the Democratic plantation. And other people is on my page like, you don't even know what this man getting ready to say. You don't even know what this man getting ready to say, but that's what we do. We show how ignorant we are as a people. Then want to start apologizing. Then want to start emailing me, man, I should have waited to hear what you was going to say. Yeah, Negro, you should have. But that's the problem with a whole bunch of misnomer black people. Oh, yep, I'm on my way, bro. I'm on my way. But I want to read this message once again that a European lady sent me. And I just read it earlier. That's why I said every Friday we got book club, which is today. But starting next week, every single Thursday, I'm going to start playing these ancient films of C. Freeman L., Ivan Van Sertima, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Ben. I'm going to start showing y'all Tony Brown's journals, where all the scholars and elders like myself and others in the past, they wasn't up there debating each other. They were debunking the Eurocentric and the Negrocentric propaganda. Those brothers wasn't up there arguing with each other like these Negroes doing today, calling themselves debating, and they all making themselves look so idiotic. Now, this is what the European lady said to me. I got to read this again because it was powerful. And I don't get this from my brothers and sisters. I don't. I get this from Europeans that's Masons, that know the science, that understand that they sons of Muslims. And these Negroes be playing a game, a political game or a black game. And this is what she says. I'm a white woman and I beg black people to allow this crucial message to truly sink in. This man, Sheikh Khari Goodman Bey, that my son introduced me to because her son was going to GCU, a European boy. And he was like, Mom, it's a brother on campus that wear the fez that remember when Dad died, but his don't have any markings on it. And he was like, he lectured in a cathedral, he lectured on campus, and it'd be packed. She came up to the college to meet me. This is an ex-college professor. I got a picture with her and everything. Taught African American studies. She said, your people lost. She said, you are speaking the absolute truth. She said, as a society, we all have been robbed of our true history. No one knows who they are, especially black people. This must change, and this change must start taking place now through you. This is what she's telling me. She said, through you. This is a European woman. You have the power to change the future. How? Because you anointed, consecrated, and educated. No professor, no lecturer, especially if they look like you, can deny what you're saying. This is what this lady is telling me. This is the accolades I get from people that's truth seekers, no matter what color they are. And when I tell you a lot of your history is wrapped up in Masonic history, just like the two films I've been showing you from C. Freeman L. Just like the two films I've been showing you from C. Freeman L. Just like the charts I've been showing you from C. Freeman L. When it talked about testament, test the body, menti mind, the old becomes new. All this stuff is Latin. When I break this science down, and it be our only people that think, no disrespect, that a European done something. And they haven't. They haven't. Alan Blavatsky, they study under Moors. All the so-called sages in first century study under Moors. That's the secret. Annie Besant, she'll tell you that it's Moor science. Pascal Beverly Randolph, all of it is Moor science. All of it is. Alice Crowley just switched it to throw you off the breadcrumbs. I got all the documents to prove this. She said the U.S. public school system is designed the way it is purposely, and its objective is to produce order, following slaves who act as instructed while asking no questions. A child's imagination peaks at age 5. This is why American children are made by law to begin their indoctrination, not education at 5. She said our government wants to control our children regardless of the skin color. And year after year, the time children spend at school is extended. She said first it was for school-related extracurricular activities. Next it was for detention. And today the government insists that a large percentage of children are not getting adequate nutrition at home. So schools have added breakfast to their service. She said Negroes, blacks of color, and all people need to feed your children at home. This job is of the parent and not a government. When the government controls your food, they control what you consume and how often you consume it. This gives the government a little more power over children. This is what the lady's telling me. She said, as a society, the misnomer black people have amnesia. This is what she's saying. She said, teach children truth instead of allowing them to become indoctrinated. Order following adults who are obedient to government and other men. She said, teach them to be only obedient to truth of themselves. This is how we begin to change the future of humanity. As a society comprised of many different races and classes, we suffer from amnesia. We are knowingly taught falsehood. We unknowingly accept these falsehoods as facts. This is a European woman that's giving me credit and And this is her son. Every lecture that I played on GCU campus, all these films
The female principal as matter.
that I played a C.Freeman L, and all the old from Dr. B and John Henry Clark, from Tony Brown's journals, I shared on GCU campus. I have more European and professors coming from all different colleges. Listen to me. I met a European professor named Spencer Dew that wrote a book called The Aliyhites about Noble Drew Ali. And he teach theology at a couple colleges. And this was before the COVID hit. I was getting ready to go to the college and lecture, which I'm getting ready to go now as a lecturer. And here it is, these people, that's professors and scholars, want me to come lecture about real history, about real science, and about the history of Noble Drew Ali and the teachings and the Masonic secrets and things. And my people jump on my page and don't follow. My people jump on my page and they get mad at the way I speak, because we all operate on feelings, not understanding, the same way as we dealing with politics. The same way people operate on feeling and emotion, but not on facts. When somebody talk about a Democrat and all this, I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I cast my vote. I vote on law and policy. That's it. When I ask people what's the black agenda, it's not one. It's no black agenda, because according to science and law, black have no rights. So Biden said you ain't black if you don't vote for me. What do that mean? So when people say, oh, black people are Democrats, no, you're not. It was a republic at one point in time in history. As I broke that down, I showed y'all the history. It's a book called America in Black and White that breaks this down. But going back to what I'm saying, blacks never going to have no rights. So you can't vote nothing black, because according to science and law, black is dead. It's silver mortis. And a lot of stuff in law and legalese, a lot of stuff pertaining to all aspects of law is in Latin. And you must understand, how can I say it, the etymology of words. And most brothers are not educated in that. What they do, they get upset because I'm not speaking the way you want me to speak, or because I'm not going to be soft. And I'm not going to let nobody come into our cipher with a bull crap that they got from somewhere else. And I say, you could take that exactly back where you came from. Because every Negro say, well, I study on my own. It'll never be no nation. And that's the problem with misnomer black people. Because they'll say, oh, I do this on my own. Well, you don't understand the dynamics of a nation and the people and the tribe. You don't understand the religious rights of the indigenous people. You don't understand House Joint Resolution 75. You don't understand the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15, and you don't understand the religious rights of the indigenous people. You don't understand the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment. You don't understand manumissions. You don't. What you do is watch videos and get upset. And most Negroes operate on emotion. Why I know they operate on emotion? Because my mufti's been with me going on 6 years. And as they bring people in, they say, Sheikh, many are called, but only a few are chosen. And that's why I deal with the right people. And if I was saying something wrong, I wouldn't be able to travel on my dime and have colleges pay for me to come speak, and have the Scholars Roundtable. I'm in the state of Arizona, and I travel all over speaking in academia. And I travel all over going to the Jewish churches and things, and they accept me. And I'm not accepted by my own people. Why? That's the thing that I ask my brothers and sisters. That's the thing that I ask my brothers and sisters. Because can't nobody do nothing to me. I know a sucker when they coming. Why? Because I smell it like an alcoholic. But let me proceed. All these expensive books. Go on Amazon and see how much these books cost. Why would you want to spend all your money for some paper? The wisdom is in the book. So if I have all these books and I converted everything to PDF, you should be like, man, Sheikh, I'll get the PDF from you for a small price. Every book that I have, I study every book. I know every book front, back, middle, end, because I lecture everything. And I don't believe something just because it's written in a book. I'm on my way, Noble. What do you say? I'm on my way. And this is what I'm saying. When you go on Amazon, look how much this book costs. Go on Amazon and tell me how much this book costs. Why wouldn't you want to get this for me PDF? Or you can go to Office Max and Staples and they'll print it and bind it. But my sister company, bindedbooks.com, we print and bind expensive and rare books. On Amazon, this books cost hundreds of dollars. I know it does. Matter of fact, Let's play a little game real fast. And let's see how much they cost on Amazon. Because I've done this over and over. And I say my people are lost due to a lack of knowledge. And that hurts me. When I'm lecturing, when I have my minister hat on, I give people these books for small donations. And the only people that be on it is all my European colleagues that's be on my GCU page when I be lecturing. And they don't be wanting no discounts. Why? Because they study us. That's what I'm saying. They study us to a T. And we don't even understand that yet. This book costs $1,000 on Amazon for some paper. This book costs $1,000 on Amazon. $1,000. And I have all these books in my library. I have a whole storage unit filled to the top and the bottom with all these books, and I converted them to PDF. So why would you want to go to Amazon and make Jeff Bezos more rich? He's not gonna do nothing for us. Instead of being like, man, I know a professor, I know a brother that's a divine minister that got every book that Amazon have. You can get it PDF or they'll print it and bind it for a fraction of the price Amazon is selling for. Amazon selling paper for $1,000. Some paper. So you happy to go on Amazon to spend $1,000 for this? And you can get the PDF from me, or I'll bind it and print it for you? Why? I share my information with everybody. When I have Sunday school, when I have adapt class, my information be going on at the bottom with my email, with my office number. I'm here. I'm a real person. And when my flesh is gone, I don't want the only people to have the wisdom is academia, the ones that take their money and pay for things, instead of Negroes that just spend their money on partying and drinking and clothes. Watch this. Every European, when I go into college and lecture, because when I say European, that's who is in academia. Negroes, oh, what the college is for this and this and that. The man, gone. We created the first universities. Here it is right here. This book right here. The Forgotten Cause of the Civil War. This book on Amazon right now for almost $500. This book is on Amazon for almost $500 stupid dollars. You ain't asked yourself, why is this book on Amazon for that much money? You never asked yourself, why is that book on Amazon for that much money? Because it's science in here. And they know the average Negro is not introduced to it or connected to somebody that have these books. So the Europeans that keep them for themselves, and when they read them, they make them expensive. For the average Negro, can't have them. But I get books given to me from professors that children is not into the science and things, and they give them to me. They give them to me, and I just convert them to PDFs, and I print them and bind them on my machine. Watch this. Let me pull another book up. Even pull up The Golden Age of the Moors by Ivan Van Sertima. I got all these books for you. You don't have to go on Amazon and make Jeff Bezos rich. Make your brother rich, and then see what I do. And then I'll show you what I do with the money. So here it is right here, right? This book right here called Russian Icons by Vladimir Ivanov. It's called Russian Icons. And I saw a Negro, I'm saying it, on YouTube talk about these are the first blacks. It ain't no such thing as no first blacks. They Russian icons. Just like David McRitchie talk about the ancient and modern Britons. You are the ancient and modern Britons. Black was not used to describe ethnicity in the first century. And here it is, I converted this book. And all Europeans on the college campus, as I'm lecturing and as I'm showing books, they whispering like, man, that book on Amazon costs $2,000 and the paperback book costs $185, the paperback. And I'll be letting them get the PDF for $30, $35. And they say, well, we want you to print and bind it. And I print and bind the book for $100. They still save it. This is the whole book. This is the whole book. The book Russian Icon that you're going to buy off Amazon, the hardback for $2,197 and the paperback for $185. This is it right here. This is the whole book. It got all the icons in it. All the icons. Let me go to another book because I gotta get ready to get out of here, man. Let's see how much this one costs on Amazon. Look at this. This book is called Melanin, The Chemical Key to Black Greatness. Amazon sell a book for $849. $849. $849. Here it is right here. All these books are converted to PDF. So the film that I was playing when C.Freeman L was talking about the Clock of Destiny and all that stuff, by C.M. Bay, I have all these. So if our elders speaking on things, you should want to connect to somebody that have the ancient manuscripts. And this is just a small tittle of what I have as a map and a guide, as a sheik, as an educator, as a scholar, as a divine Moorish minister. I have a full library. Why wouldn't you want to deal with that? The other, on the film, he was talking about that who was going to come next week to lecture, and he was talking about Empress Verdice Tierra de Washita Turner Gostin El Bay. He was talking about her and how Louisiana gave her land back, and it's in here, the ancient ones. I have all these books converted to PDFs, and I print it and bind them. The history is here. The Louisiana Purchase wasn't no purchase. It was stolen land, and history proved it. They gave her land back. This is historical facts, and facts are stubborn, but it's the truth, and the truth will make you free. We are a people, and the world know it. It's all here in science. It's all here. So I just wanted to share that with my brothers and sisters for a minute, man, and I challenge y'all to come to class. Like I said, Thursdays, we're going to start playing films. And just like, let me pull up another of one of our commentaries before I leave. Let's see how much they selling this on Amazon for. Let's see how much they selling it for. And then I talk to the people, they like, oh, I got that. And then when I be speaking of things, they want to disagree and stuff. But you say you got Exhumed Other Nation, but you ain't never read it. Or you ain't never asked no questions because you're not in a cipher. You're not dealing with an educator and with a person that understands linguistics to get you in the right perspective. Here it is. Exhumed Other Nation is over 600 pages. I know Exhumed Other Nation front and back. And I converted it to PDF. This right here, why would you go on Amazon and spend $120 for some paper, and I got it. And you can convert it to a PDF, and you can have it on your tablet, or we'll print it and bind it, or you can go to Office Max and Staples and have them print and bind it. Why? Well, but we continue to make other people successful instead of our own brothers and sisters that's doing the work. Like I say, a lot of our people don't even like to give donations, and I say, why don't you like to give donations? But then Negroes say that they Jews and all this. Well, all my European Jewish colleagues, they split their money 3 ways. And charity is number 1. They spiritual head, just like my European colleagues were like, well, you just Melchizedek. I get more love and get more donations from my European colleagues than my own people that jump on my page and follow me. And I've been doing this for over 10 years as an educator and as a divine minister, imparting knowledge and truth and history, dealing with finance, economics, dealing with education. Your kid will go to school for misnomer African American studies and come out as an educated slave. But I guarantee you that professor will not sit down with me and have a conversation because I know the stuff that they teaching them is fallacy. Why? Because I'm an educator. I know professors that have kids study some Willie Lynch and have that as how can I say it? What's the vernacular? Not suggested, but have that as required readings. These are misnomer black professors that have the damn Willie Lynch as required readings before you can take her class. And this was at GCU. And my professor, which is a European man, potentate out here in Arizona, had me lecture with the students coming in and why the damn professor quit. Because I showed that the Willie Lynch is a lie. It's fallacy. through history. I showed who came up with that. I showed that black wasn't used to describe ethnicity in the first century. I showed that there wasn't no so-called black slaves that taught about no Willie Lynch, no black slave owners that talked about no Willie Lynch. If it was a Willie Lynch letter, it'll be in the Library of Congress like everything else. It'll be, and I showed that it was fallacy. I showed that the Dred Scott never been abolished. I showed that Alex Haley plagiarized roots from a European named Harold Colander. And today, still, what else do I got to do? You know, what else do I got to do? That's why it hurts my heart. And I say, man, people like, you should just go to academia and sign the damn contract contingent on me shutting my YouTube and everything down. But I don't want to do that. I don't, family. I don't want to shut my YouTube and my Facebook down to just be on academia lecturing, and they paying me $150,000. Like, that ain't even no aspiration. I didn't go to the college to do that, to be shut down. I went to the university to understand how everyone think, to be valid, and to be able to come back and teach my brothers and sisters and who everyone else that understand the words that are coming out of my mouth to be students, to be part of our spiritual organization. And I use the internet to reach people all over the globe, because the internet is good in this aspect. Why? Because we able to reach people all over the globe that don't live in the same jurisdiction that we live in. That's why I like the internet in this aspect, because all my muftis are from different states. I'm in Arizona. All my muftis are from different states. Then when I go back home to my city of Flint, Michigan, the churches allow me to lecture in there. I'm getting ready to go back home. It's an old church with an old preacher. He like, man, when I go, I want to give you this building. I want you to have this. That's why I'll be in shock. Put me in his will. He was like, I don't want one of these young preachers coming in with that stuff. He's like, I want you to change it. I'm getting ready to go back home in a couple more weeks to minister at his church, to teach more science. He said his glory days is over, and he didn't have the wisdom and the understanding like I have to teach. I don't disrespect the Gospels. If you are more, you understand that this science, and we operate through all the holy books. I don't disrespect no prophet. I don't disrespect nobody, no matter what color you are, because the Creator created the bluebird, the redbird, the blackbird, the polar bear, the grizzly bear. Hate and racism comes from home and comes from your condition. It comes from your mother, your father, your uncle, or your community. And when Negroes say they can't be racist, yes, you can. Why? Because a Negro killed my brother. A Negro killed my best friend, Michael Blackmore. A Negro killed my cousin, Miguel Swain. This is all in Flint, Michigan. And it's our brothers and sisters, especially those so-called misnomer black Christians, so those misnomer black Muslims, those misnomer black Masons. I don't care if you free nor slave. When you black, you always going to be a slave. These is facts, because in order to be a complete person, you must have your nationality and your spirituality. And that was taken from you from slavery. But your brother or your dad or your uncle, that's a Negro Mason, is going to lie to you. It's going to continue to lie to you. That's why I challenge all my brothers and sisters. I'm not going to debate my brothers and sisters, because why am I going to debate someone that should be a student of mine? Why should I debate a Negro because he done watched a whole bunch of damn YouTube videos but won't go on a college campus and challenge academia, but want to challenge me? That ain't what I do. I'm not finna debate nobody. I'm 48 years young, getting ready to be in January. Man, I done got, if I show y'all all the emails I done got from people that look like me, disrespecting, then apologizing, then wanting to debate me, asking me, I never debate no one. That just upset. I'm not finna debate no sovereign citizen. I'm not finna debate no one that's picking up a fight that's not gonna do nothing for their children or their wives or no one in their community. You don't see me running back and forth to court. You will never see me doing that. Why? Because the law is already written. We got to understand that. And until we don't understand that, these Moors are going to be going to jail because they playing Monopoly, calling themselves some consulate general, calling themselves some Moroccan president, and all that stuff, all fallacy. Sovereign citizen, you can't be a sovereign and a citizen at the same time. That's an oxymoron. You are going to jail, and you will be sitting right next to the European militia. If I start giving y'all these people real names, you'll be like, damn, I'd be like, all of them in jail. Those Ride of the Moors Negroes, jail. Jail, jail, jail. And if I get deeper with it, I'll show y'all the two brothers that was agents that sent people in a burning house because it all was premeditated. They didn't get pulled over by no police. That brother's pulled over. And if you a general or a sergeant in the military and you finna ready to go from here to there, you're going to cross your T's and dot all your I's. See, I know the game that Negroes play. And then they be up in the court and they say they know law, but they all have court-appointed attorneys. All y'all got to do is look at these Negroes still in jail. That is not what Noble Drew Ali told us to do when he talked about being industrial. That's not it. That's not it. If you think that, you off. And I guarantee you, you going to jail. Just like that lady on the internet talking about she's some sheriffist and officer and telling people to file this and do all this and be a paper terrorist. Where are they at now? And that's the problem with misnomer Negroes. They get so caught up because mentally you a slave and you think somebody can sign you a piece of paper today like that means something, and it don't. And you end up going to jail and your life end up being worse than it was before you got into that sovereign citizen movement. These are facts. Here it is till today. I still be hearing Negroes talk about, oh, they need to do a status correction. And then I throw it back to them. Tell me what a status correction is. They can't even tell me. They go around talking about some foreign national. I say that's an oxymoron. How the hell are you a foreign national and you a Moorish American? If you're a foreign national, then you got dual citizenship somewhere else. Take your ass somewhere else. That's what I be saying. The idiotic and the mental destruction that a lot of brothers have because they're not educated and consecrated and anointed. It's just facts. And you can't be an elder, a scholar, or a God man, or a map and a guy, and you dropped out of school in the 3rd grade, and you don't know history and you don't know linguistics. I understand homeschooling, but the average Negro, you don't have a school at home. You know what I'm saying. This is no disrespect to us because most people don't support nothing. So I just wanted to share that with my brothers and sisters, man. I got to get the heck out of here. Today is our holy day. We're going to have film session on our Temple and School page. Please subscribe to our Temple and School page on YouTube and Facebook at Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. Please support our Temple and School with small donations. Hit me up, GOODMANKHARY@gmail.com. That's my Gmail, and my office number is 602-473-8767. I'm not afraid to talk about finances because I spread finances and I give more than I receive. Every time I get something, I give away. I do so much charity. But when people say, oh, well, Sheik, you should have this and you should have a big building already. The only way I'm going to have a big building is the people support. I'm not a multi-billionaire. And you get a tax-exempt receipt because most of our brothers and sisters clearly don't understand tax-exempt status. The money that you give Uncle Sam does not go to run the United States of America. It sits in a private banking system. When you support the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, I can give you a tax-exempt receipt and you can give it to your tax preparer. But then you need to know how much you need to donate where you live to offset your taxes because the whole thing is giving Uncle Sam less money and supporting your charitable and spirituality contribution of your choice. You have to understand that. And until we understand that, and until we get okay with giving a portion of our money to what we believe in, we'll never have nothing. The churches will continue to teach. And I'm not saying all churches are bad because they're not. It's some churches that's not under the faith-based initiative. But you can't put all that pressure on an organization or on a preacher if he or she don't know. If they are indoctrinated to a certain type of wisdom and then they don't even have an open mind to accept wisdom, to accept education, to accept law. That's what we have to bring back as a body. Because a church, a synagogue, a temple, those all the same thing if you understand language. So when I say the Burning Bush Tabernacle, Science Temple and School, the people are the church per se. And we having so-called church right now when we gather. I ask all y'all a question. If y'all go to a church or somebody invited you to a church, and when it's time for offering or a donation, do you give an offering and donation? You don't have to be a member of the church, but if you go and if you frequent and you like what's going on with that organization, or you showing up all the time, are you going to give a donation to that body? I will hope you will. I will hope you will continue to show up and know that the body is trying to do something, and be a laudor and not support with your finances. And if you really like what's going on, you be a participant instead of a spectator, and you bring your wife and you bring your kids to learn. And that's what I be telling most brothers that's in more science. Man, your wife don't even want to hear what you saying. So why are you so worried about going out in the world trying to convince Negroes that you work with? You should even be talking about this at work. You should save yourself. Why? Because if you can't convince your wife and your children about this, you damn sure can't talk to me about nothing. When I be seeing Moors out in the world and they wives don't even care about what they saying. Your wife ain't into the science. Your children ain't into the science. Your immediate circle is not into the science. That tell me something about a man. That tell me that your wife clearly don't give a damn about the history of their children, the history of you. That tell me right there. And so our whole thing should be like taking these teachings and save ourselves and our household first, not going out in the world talking to other men. No, we should bring men to the cipher. And then we should build with our finances so we can have brick and mortars all over. So I can come to your state. So brothers can come together no matter where it's at your home or a place that you rented or at the library, until we have our own subordinate temples in every different jurisdiction. As I'm getting ready to do my first brick and mortar in my city of Flint. I had a building out here in Arizona, but I couldn't just support it with my own dollars. I couldn't maintain it. I'm gonna always be honest, because stuff costs. I had to pay the utilities. I had to pay the rent. It just was too much. And I was telling people that they could support with the money that you would give to Uncle Sam. When people like us and other people that don't understand law and tax code, they'll let Uncle Sam take the larger sum out they check because you think you're getting a tax return. And then I'll sit you down and I'll say, well, how much did Uncle Sam take out your check for the whole year? You don't even know. You have a right to file exempt when you donate your money to your religious and charitable contribution of your choice. You have the right to file exempt forever. Why? Because you are submitting your so-called taxes to your religious and charitable organization of your choice. That's why I'm able to give you a tax exempt receipt to claim on your taxes to offset it. And then if you really operate in the right way, you want to give a certain amount or donate a certain amount of your money to your religious organization and give Uncle Sam less. You know? And giving money to Uncle Sam even less. That's the thing that we're supposed to do. And that allows you to file exempt forever. And then depending on what state you live in, all you got to do is ask your tax preparer, what percentage of money do I have to donate to my religious or charitable contribution of my choice to offset the money that I got to give Uncle Sam? Your tax preparer will tell you. I'll give you an analogy. In the state of Arizona, if you make at least $65,000, $68,000, you have to give 13%. So instead of giving 10%, you got to give about $13,000. That's pocket change. And then when you're dealing with somebody like me, when you're a part of a body, I'm able to do in-kind service. In-kind service, just say if I don't have, I use one of my muftis, Moso, Brian, or my noble Alonzo, or Barclay. All of them, they all work for the ministry. I don't have money to pay them. They're not looking for money to pay me. But I'm like, okay, what you doing is I'm able to give you a receipt. It's like accounts receivable to say this is worth this. It's called in-kind service. So you're able to claim that on your taxes. So I'll give you an analogy. Say all my members giving, just say you make 40,000 or whatever, and you giving $400 a month, and say you do the film each week. It's on my discretion to say how much the in-kind service is. So say if I say, okay, each week your in-kind service is worth, or I'll just say each month your in-kind service is worth $600, and you already donating $400 to the organization. So each month you're going to get a tax exempt receipt for $1,000. Why? Because your in-kind service, yes, that's a form of a payment. I can't pay you that much money because I don't have it, but I can help you out. In-kind service. And so on your tax exempt receipt, it'll be It'll be, organized. It'll be structured. You'll have your donations, you'll have your member dues, and you'll have your in-kind service. And then it'll be a total. Your donations will be like all the books you get, the regalia you will pay for, or just the donations when I do regular lectures. And so then at the end of the year, when it's time for you to do your taxes, the whole thing is giving Uncle Sam less money. That's what we're supposed to do, because what we should be owning is our temples and our educational houses. That's it. That allow us to go in the community and do work. If people in the community need things and stuff, if single moms need things, they should be able to come to the storehouse. They should be able to come to the BBT, and we support. But we giving our money away freely. Why? Because nobody is educating our people on tax codes. Hell, I know misnumbered black people that's been part of churches all their life, and they donate to the church, and the pastor don't give them a tax exempt receipt. And so then at the end of the year, you paying taxes again. How? On the money that you earn. This is what I try to tell people. I try to teach us. You got to understand this. We got to understand this, and we have to care, or we're never going to have nothing, or everything is going to be government funded. And when you depend on the government, that means the government is your daddy. They're going to control everything, and we don't need the government. We got to use our tax dollars to build our own infrastructure. That's the law. And until we understand this, we lost. That's what all my European Jewish colleagues does. That was the whole thing on The Sopranos. When you watch The Sopranos, why you think the gangster was always going to the Catholic Church? Because the priests, they have lawyer and client confidentiality. That's why they're able to go and testify to that priest, and that priest never gets subpoenaed. Why you think a black preacher always gets subpoenaed? Because blacks have no rights in law. So when a person talk about black people Democrats, and we're going to vote Democrat because blacks have no rights. It's no black agenda. I'm sorry. When Biden talk about, oh, you don't vote for me if you black, that was a slap in the face to Negroes. That should have been a slap. When Biden got his ass on TV, on Charlamagne the God, he talk about, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. Hell no, I'm not black. Duh. Blacks have no rights. And if nationality and reparations is wrapped up in the court and law, well then you got to go back into the courts and prove this, which I've already done in academia. So when you're talking about voting, I don't give a damn if you're a Republican or Democrat. I don't have no dog in that fight. I cast my vote as an American. I vote on law and policy. Just like in the state of Florida, marijuana is not recreational. When I went to bury my uncle, when I did his eulogy, I'm talking to all my cousins. I'm asking them because I like to deal with law and policy. I said, is marijuana recreational out here? They were like, what you mean? I said, that means when you a certain age, you can just go into the dispensary and buy marijuana. They like, hell no. You got to have a marijuana card. And I said, so this year is getting ready to be on the ballot. Are y'all going to vote? Them Negroes didn't even know. That's how laws get passed. Who? By the people. By the people. It ain't got nothing to do with no damn Republican or Democrat. They must uphold the law and policy. It ain't got nothing to do with them. You vote for a CEO. And so when Obama was telling people that no, he's not Negro and black, Obama was an attorney. He knew that. Just like when the lady running for president, and when everybody said, well, do you got a black agenda? She said no. At first she said she was an Indian. I don't have a problem with that. It's no black agenda. It's not one. Why? Because according to science and law, black means death. So now when you cast your vote as a misnomer black person and you say we black, we Democrats, what's the black agenda? And when nothing happened, because ain't nothing gonna happen for misnomer black folk, who are you gonna hold accountable? What office are you gonna go to and fight for your so-called black vote that you gave? I'll wait, you ain't gonna go nowhere. What Negroes do is get on the internet and start complaining. Because I showed y'all the film yesterday when Jesse Jackson was running for president. He ran for the president twice. And I showed y'all who was his biggest supporter. Who? Donald Trump. That paid millions. I showed y'all. I ain't on Donald Trump's side, but I'm just showing y'all truth. Deal with truth instead of dealing with programming. Donald Trump, when he was building things, he gave those contractors jobs to minorities and misnomer blacks. This is truth. But people get mad at how a person speak. Man, Negroes disrespect each other every day. Your employer, that's a European, will disrespect you today. What are we talking about? And before Donald Trump was running for president, every Negro rapper loved Donald Trump. They have verses about Donald Trump in his music. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. All them Negroes did. So what changed? What's changed? Because all them Negroes was loving them. NAACP giving Donald Trump awards, all this stuff. So are we trying? So what I'm telling y'all, will the person always racist that we say? Because that person to speak how they feel, and Negroes do it every day. We kill each other every day. We doing the Ku Klux Klan work. We hate each other. I'll be on the internet and Negroes will kill each other because they banging over science or religion. I see it every day. I see how we disrespect each other from a lack of wisdom. And then we sit up here and talk about Donald Trump is a racist. No, your own brother and sister is a racist. And I don't mean no disrespect to no one. Your employer is a racist. The person that you might be working next to is a racist. Think about this for a minute. And then think about how the internet playing man and woman against each other. And our science, the man, the woman, and the child sits on the throne together. Look at how you get these Negroes, and they'll use this goofy analogy, and they'll say this. See, a woman respect they white boss more than their husband. A dog get more rights at home than a man. That's the stupidest stuff in the world. Because Negro, if you got a 9 to 5, you feel the same way about your employer as your wife do. See, that's the messed up part about it, what Negroes do. They always try to throw stuff on women. But if you work a 9 to 5, your employer gonna do you the same way that they'll do to the wife. Your ass will jump. If they say you need to be at a certain time, you would be there. The same way your wife do. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about as a people? Coming from understanding and coming from knowledge. Nothing. And back in the day when a C.Freeman L, when Ira Van Sertima and all those people was out, here it is, they had professors that teach like this. They had people come together. They rented places and it was packed. Once I started showing all these films on film night every Thursday, Tony Brown's journals and all these things with all these scholars coming together at all these colleges as lecturers, they weren't up there arguing with each other. They weren't up there talking to no sovereign citizen stuff. You didn't see Khalid Muhammad arguing with Bobby Hemmett. Them brothers was right there. You didn't see Bobby Hemmett arguing with C.Freeman L. Them brothers was right there. You didn't see Dr. Ben arguing with Chancellor Wilson. Them brothers was right there next to each other. And that's what I'm saying. We got to come next to each other to show people that we are a people. We are a people. We are a people. It's one nationality and many cultures. And we have to be resurrected from this knowledge. We got to stop playing Crips and Bloods. We got to stop that. We got to stop that. We got to come together and we have to use our finances because we giving our money away. Everybody that work right now, I don't give a damn if you or more, you talking that lying stuff, you do pay taxes. Moore's be sitting up here lying because if you didn't pay taxes, you would be out of your house. The garbage man wouldn't be picking up your garbage. And you wouldn't be working. Every nigga that got a job, you paying taxes. And they get on here and lie. Everybody on here got a job, you know you paying taxes. You know it. You know each of you paying taxes. That's why every year Negroes be, I'm getting ready to get a tax return. Oh, I'm getting ready to get a tax return. You start lying, getting people's social security numbers to file fake taxes. I started telling you about all these Moors that did that mess. That's why I said they can't lie on the prophet. The prophet set the temple up a certain way. But then it's Negroes, that liars, that went to jail. No disrespect. When Warden L, all them Negroes file fake taxes, and then they try to resurface, and I'll pull out the document, the president in law case, and show that they not only got themselves in trouble, but they lied to all those seniors and had them file fake taxes to get them locked up. You understand what I'm saying? These is truth, and I'll be waiting for somebody to jump on my page with that fallacy stuff. Just like they be talking about the 1099 and some trust fund at the end of the rainbow. But here I got the documents from the CCRD, the county clerk or recorder of deeds, telling Sheik Lionel Love L and Sheik is Mo. That stuff they talking about is bullshit. Excuse my candor. But we don't like the truth. We don't like the truth when our own brothers and sisters fancy themselves up and tell you a lie. And they have no standing in law. They can't take this stuff to court. You will go to jail. And these is facts. And here go the documents that prove it. This is from 2016. I done read this forever. I share it with everybody. I give it to people. And these people still on the internet lying like they got some magical powers. I told y'all, it's our own people. A young lying fool is an old lying fool unless the Holy Spirit comes to you and change your teachings and give you a revelation. And a revelation, you must have understanding. You must have understanding, which a lot of our people don't. A lot of our people think someone can nationalize you still. And can no one change you from the descendant natures of your foremothers and forefathers? Can't no Negro, myself, as a map and a guy, I can't nationalize you and denationalize you. I teach you who you are. You can be a part of a nation, but you are more by birth. And then you must understand the nationhood of what we're doing. So I'll leave that alone, man. I got to go ship out some literature. And like I said, man, tomorrow is ADAPT class. We have our ADAPT class on our Temple and School page, and I also share it on my personal YouTube page. But I need my people's support. I need my people's support. If I get support from professors and college kids and potentates out here at Arizona, where I'm at, and I travel, I don't want to just be teaching them. I don't want them just to be having me come to their groups and teaching their groups. I don't want that. I want my brothers and sisters. I don't care if it's $5. $5 is just as good as $500. I'm gonna give you the same thing that the people give me $500 donations. I'm gonna give you the same thing, and then I'm gonna give you a tax exempt receipt. I want us to learn, and my people are lost due to a lack of knowledge because sometimes we refuse to learn. That's the only way we're gonna have some wisdom. We can't arbitrarily explain things, family, and we can't operate off emotions all the time. We have to know. We have to know. We can't believe, because right under the word believe is a word called belie. Believing in things that can be proven. 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Prove all things and hold fast to what is good. So I hope y'all learned a little something today. Like I said, I shared at least about 30 minutes of each film, of C.Freeman L. Like I said, I have all his lectures. I have all Bobby Hemmett lectures. I have a whole reading list for Bobby Hemmett that I share with everybody, and I have all the books. I got all Dr. Ben lectures, everything that was on Tony Brown's journals. I have all those lectures. And so I'm trying to resurrect our people and give our kids something that we got late, to give it to them early so they can understand who they are, so they can understand the value of a dollar, so they can operate as a business as a young age and use our dollars to build our infrastructure, family. So I love y'all, man. Any books that I showed y'all, hit me up. GOODMANKHARY@gmail.com. I give you my syllabus to our temple and school because a lot of teachings I do privately and they're not even on YouTube or our temple page, because a lot of our ADAPT teachings I have private with my students because I don't have to share it. I don't have to, but I use this public access to share things to try to bring people into our cipher. So I love y'all, man. Peace, light, and illumination. And once again, if y'all need anything, hit me up. Send me a text to my office number. It's a cell phone, 602-473-8767. Once again, 602-473-8767. My Gmail is Goodman, GOODMANKHARY@gmail.com. And if you're interested in giving donations to our temple and school, hit me up and I'll show you how you can donate. We use Venmo, Burning Bush Tabernacle at BBT Science Temple, and we also use Zelle, and it's connected to my office number. And I will give you everything that your heart desire. You give a little, I give way more. I promise you that. You want fezzes, you want turbans, you want kufis, you want your Moorish American regalia, your tunic, cotton, or silk. I provide all that stuff. You don't have to go outside of our culture for nothing. Any books and documents, I have them. You don't have to go to Jeff Bezos and make Jeff Bezos a quadruple billionaire. Help this organization and then watch the ministry that we able to do. So I love y'all, man. Once again, peace, light, and illumination. Please get these likes up. Please, family, get these likes up. Share them with your family and friends. Please. If you can't donate, at least you can do is get the likes up. At least you can do is subscribe to our temple and school pages. At least you can do is send me an email or send me a text message and say, hey, She Goodman Bay, keep up the good work. You know, I want to be personal with y'all. I want us to be friends and family. I'm here to help my brothers and sisters. That's what I'm here for. I didn't go in academia to go get a 9 to 5 because I'm straight. I created my employment. I created it. I lecture in real life. I have real programs. I have my own mental organization where I help kids on my own dime. I get contracts. And so I hope y'all understand and listen to little old me and taking time out y'all day. But once again, I do need my family and friends to support our temple and school with your charitable contributions of your choice. Please don't forget to hit me up. Goodman, GOODMANKHARY @gmail.com. And my office number is 602-473-8767. I'm a real person. Talk to me and I respond back. I love y'all, man. Peace and love.